Welcome back. Been a minute. I actually went on vacation like a couple weeks ago, and I meant to do a video, but the whole reason I took off that week was to get some things done. Hello. Anyhow, like I said, I planned on making a video while I was on vacation. It just didn't happen. I was busy doing other things, trying to fix my truck, trying to finish up some paperwork. I've been smoking all day. Peterson's Old Dublin. It's a new one I just got. It's been good. I like it. The last batch I ordered was My Mix 965. That was pretty good. Nightcap. That was pretty good. An Elizabethan mixture, which I didn't really care for that one. Didn't like that one too much. This time around, I got another 10 of Early Morning Pipe, because I love that stuff. I got Old Dublin, which I just showed you, and I got Orlick Golden Slice, which I am not super familiar with how to smoke that kind of tobacco. It's been a learning process. But on the way home today, we're going to smoke Paladin Black Cherry. And we're going to talk about a topic today. Something I've been weighing on my mind for a couple weeks now. Nothing like super deep or divisive or anything like that. Just a thing I noticed a couple weeks ago in regards to music. I don't know how many of y'all are music fans. I imagine quite a few of you. By the way, this is just some cheap pipe that I got on Amazon. But she's good. And but anyway, I don't know how much time I got before this camera starts to overheat because it's in the sun. As y'all are probably aware, most people today listen to music on a streaming service, whether that be Spotify, iTunes, I guess. Not real sure. I don't use Apple things. And I'm not here to argue about, new music not being as good as old music. I think new music, there is some good new music, if you know where to look. And that's the good thing about streaming platforms. You're not limited to what the radio gives you. You can actually go and explore and find stuff. But my pondering today is albums. I noticed this a couple weeks ago. I don't know how long ago, maybe a month ago. So, since nobody really buys albums anymore, I'm sure some of y'all do, but I don't. Whenever a new album is about to drop, like months in advance, Spotify lets me know if it's an artist that they know I regularly listen to. Like I have playlists with this artist saved. They got algorithms and whatnot that says, hey, he likes this, he listens to them all the time. So when they're about to drop a new album, they say, hey, so-and-so started the countdown. New album drops, is 3 months, 4 months, whatever it is. Pre-save it now. So I do that usually if it's something I'm really interested in. I go ahead and pre-save the album so that when it drops, it'll go into my library. I've done that for at least a year or more. And so I was scrolling through my library a couple weeks ago, and those albums, once you save them in there, they're always in there until you delete them. And I come across some albums, and I'm like, I was super excited for that album, and it came out, and I probably listened to it over a period of a couple days, like several times, 2 or 3 times. I listened to that album, and then I just didn't, for whatever reason. And it got me thinking about the old days, because I'm a little on the grayer side. Reminded me of the old days when somebody would drop an album, or they would tell you, hey, my new album comes out, before streaming. My new album comes out, blah, 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 this day. And you would be so excited, looking forward to that album drop. And you would get the album and you would wear that son of a gun out in your CD player, record player, whatever it is you listen to. And I remember back in the days before streaming, when I would have a book of CDs in my truck. And man, I'd be like, get in the truck after work, grab my book of CDs, put it in my lap, and be like, what do I want to listen to? And you flip through there and flip through there, and you come across that one album, and you're like, I ain't listening to that album, in a couple months, whatever. And you just put it in and just jam that. Man, I forgot how good this album was. And just jam the crap out of it. Wear it out all over again. And I was like, that just doesn't happen anymore. I think it was a little over a year ago, A Day to Remember, one of my favorite bands, dropped an album, and I listened to that thing for about 2 weeks, like every day. But that's like the exception for the most part. I remember Lorna Shore dropped an album not long ago. I listened to that one for a few days, and that was it. Lamb of God, that's one of the albums I'm talking about. Lamb of God dropped an album. I pre-saved it, and then the day it came out, I listened to the whole dang thing. And I think I probably listened to the whole dang thing, like, maybe the next day, and then that was it. Then it just stayed in my library, eventually made its way down to the bottom. And I come across that album like, man, what happened to the old days? Where you would, I guess it was because we didn't have so much. We didn't have access to all the music you could possibly want, with a few exceptions, of course. We didn't have access to everything. We didn't know everything that was out there. There's genres. I have playlists on my Spotify for genres that I didn't know existed. But I guess we have access to so much stuff now. Like, we look forward to an album coming out, it comes out, we listen to it once or twice, and then boom, we're like, okay, what's the next thing there is to look forward to hear? I guess, back in the day, you bought that album. You couldn't exactly just go out and buy every album that you wanted. You kind of had to pick and choose. So you only had a few. So you just had to live with what you had, I guess. And now, like I said, we got access to anything we can want. Our attention spans are shorter because we're like, okay, that was pretty good. What else you got? So that just made me miss the good old days of, like, you can look back on some albums from like my childhood and be like, man, that was a legendary album. Like, I was watching a TikTok, was it a TikTok? No, a Facebook reel the other day, where this kid was referring to his grandfather's record collection. And by record, he meant CDs, and by vintage, he meant Rage Against the Machine. Look, we're talking about Rage Against the Machine's self-titled album or something like that, and I'm like, Like, that is a goated album. Like, Rage Against, especially Evil Empire. Was it Evil Empire? Rage Against the Machine. Like, that album is legend status. But we don't even, like, I don't even think of albums that came out in like the last 10 years or so as legendary albums, as albums that'll go down in history. Now, obviously, it's going to take some time if that is going to happen. But I just don't listen to albums these days and think, wow, this is like every song was good, and this is an album that's going to define a generation kind of thing. Like, it just doesn't really happen. So I don't know. What do y'all think? If y'all are a music lover and you still listen to music, current music. I know a lot of people, they reach a certain age and they're like, oh, only the old stuff was good. I never want to be like that. Although I kind of fall into that trap sometimes. Because a lot of the playlists I have on my Spotify is music that I listened to 15, 20, 30 years ago. But there is still music that comes out, new music, that I think is good. I don't think all new music is trash like some boomer might think. But what do y'all think? Y'all think the age of digital music has just kind of ruined the whole experience or whatever? Like, I know people talk about, well, digital music don't sound as good as like an actual CD or an actual tape or an actual record, and I agree with that. I don't disagree with that. But what do y'all think? Do you think that the digital age is taken away from the experience of music? Like, I still love music. It still gets me going. I listen to music every day. But I don't know, it just don't seem like it used to. It don't seem the same as it used to be. The excitement and the staying power of albums just don't seem to be what it used to be. I don't know. If you care, let me know in the comments. But I appreciate y'all watching my video. If you made it this far, I'm Stormer Norman. I have rambled. I appreciate you listening. See you next time.